This is our discussion of Nacho Libre from Load Bearing Beams episode 36, originally released May 11th, 2018.
And
that was wacky.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the show.
Somebody's got a case of the sillies.
Welcome to Load Bearing Beams, the podcast where we talk about movies and we talk about relationships.
Put your arms down now, cause they're. Yeah, I think you should just relax, cause your friend Caleb's here.
We can go arms up. It's cool.
Let's all go arms up.
Here we go. Hands in the air.
All of us do actually care, though. So that's a misnote. Nope. All right, so we have a guest, Caleb.
Hello.
What are you doing here?
So for many of the listeners of the show, I'm sure you were thinking, what moron suggested Corky Romano? Mm-hmm. And that was me, and I am back to suggest Nacho Libre.
And to talk about it in person.
Oh, yes, I am here to talk about it. And
we're very excited about that.
Corky Romano was worth a watch. I love me some Chris Kattan.
I like Corky Romano more than I like Nacho Libre.
Damn, you're just coming right out the gate.
I know.
So my plan with Corky Romano was like, let me suggest a movie that Matt is going to hate. Yeah. And then, surprise, surprise, he liked it.
Right. So what was your plan with Nacho Libre?
No, that's just the movie that I like.
Right.
I'm like, it could actually be really bad. I haven't seen it in a while.
Right.
I thought that was the thesis statement of this entire
Completely.
podcast. And so I was like, that fits the quality. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just spoil like Matt did. It's still fantastic.
Oh, God. It must be hanging on to every little bit of nostalgia that there is inside your body.
Lacey, what did you think of it?
Oh, I mean, who knows?
Okay. So the premise of our podcast is that we pick movies that we grew up with or that we cherished when we were younger, but there's some distance is between us and the last
Perhaps
time we
you
saw
quote
the
it.
You quoted a lot, but maybe it's been a while since you actually saw the thing that has generated so many quotes, right? So what happens if you view it now in your jaded older years?
You've already vouched for it because you can't stop quoting it, and you do it even though you don't even realize you're doing it because I'm being so eloquent right now. Anyway, so just by bringing it up and putting it into the ether, you've already vouched for it. Now it's time to show it to somebody who can say it's bad.
So what we usually do... Thank you.
I'm going to perform the King's speech later.
So what we usually do is each of us... Oh, my name's Matt Stokes.
Hey!
You are?
Lacey Roth. We're married.
Yes. And you are?
For now.
Caleb Hogan.
So we're the three beams, and we bear each other's loads.
Ew.
And usually Lacey and I pick a movie and show it to each other, right? And then we...
Look! I drew this movie.
Yeah. And then we save our thoughts for when we record and then reveal to each other what we thought. But every other week we have a listener suggestion. And occasionally that listener will come on the show. Caleb is some random guy from the internet who loves the show so much that he showed up.
This is 100% true.
I live in the internet. Yes. I've come.
I basically doxed Matt and found his address, and here I am.
Exactly.
And in Louisiana, that means that he pulled his boat up to our dock and rode an alligator into our home.
Yep.
And our hearts.
And now we're eating crawfish nachos. Crawfish nacho libres.
Caleb is Matt's
Caleb's
best friend.
Oldest and dearest friend. And we watched many, many movies and TV shows growing up together, but we have wildly different tastes.
Really? We give some examples to this. What is something he really likes that you just don't get at all? Caleb.
Well, Caleb likes everything.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That's the problem.
That is what I figured out about you from day one. That you have a huge capacity for liking things everywhere.
So here's the issue with popular culture and myself. My bar is incredibly low. Yeah. I've always joked that I have only disliked two movies in theater. I Think I Love My Wife, starring Chris Rock. And,
that you even went to the theater to see
it. And it's the only time I've ever considered walking out of a movie, but my aunt was there, and so I said, I have to stay.
Wow.
Okay,
Tell me number two.
And the other one was Next Day Air.
The last time I saw... Caleb, I think the last time I saw you, because you now live in New York, The last time that we saw each other was when we got
New York,
together to
Florida?
see Power Rangers, the Power Rangers movie
Oh, I forgot you guys saw that in theaters.
with your mom.
Very good. Sandy Hogan was a fan.
theaters. And every single trailer that came on made you excited.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
like Sherlock Gnomes. Like, oh yeah.
Oh God! And every Christmas that I see you, I learn about some cultural thing I didn't know about before. Some minutia of reality television or some kind of pop song. We got into Taylor Swift's. What is it? 1987, 1989? 89. We started listening to that after you said that we had to.
Oh, 89's fire.
And we-
That's
Yeah.
a great album.
Loved.
The best song isn't even on the album though. New Romantics made that B-side.
See how you doing this? See how
great
you doing
song.
this?
Yes.
You're always
Yes.
you are just
Even make us feel bad about that album that we listened to so many times.
cornucopia. Yeah, you have a way.
Because we're so basic that we just have the CD with the 12 tracks.
No, you just gotta get on Spotify, man.
Yeah, well, what I do is I buy the CD and then I load it onto my Amazon account and then stream it from Amazon.
I mean, that's the one way to do it.
It is. The other thing
Brought
we
to you
did
by
when we were
Amazon.
the other thing we did when we were younger was watch wrestling, and I'm
yeah.
anxious to talk about wrestling because I love talking wrestling.
Yeah, this is a great combination of
This
our two
might
past
be
interests.
why well, no, this is not the reason why I was let down with this movie, but the cool thing about wrestling movies is you usually get a little bit of insight into the business.
Yeah, there's
this
none
felt
in
like
this.
felt like Jack Black or the director or anyone has never been to Mexico or seen a wrestling match or talked to
I want to
anyone
say
who's seen
something
one.
about that,
Okay.
but later.
Why is
Because
it
we
always?
have to-
I always feel like I'm
'Cause
the
I
one.
wanna-
I jumped the gun.
Because I want to go in a little bit of a progression.
Yes,
we need
but
to
you
talk
don't
about.
tell anyone what the progression is. Otherwise, I'd go with it. Can I get some kind of
We
map?
give some context about the movie. We talk about what the movie is about. and then
Wrestling.
The thing that I want to complain about is the movie's ending.
Well, wait. That's just crazy. Let's start with the beginning.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give your build
Okay.
it. Build a scene.
I realized my best friend can separate our chills from faith.
First of all,
Quit making one.
the movie that we're talking about is 2006's Nacho Libre, directed by Jared Hess. It was his follow-up to Napoleon Dynamite,
Did he have
a movie
something after that?
Yes, I think he did. I think he had a movie called Gentleman Broncos.
Yeah,
Gentleman Broncos.
he's had a bunch of movies that haven't done anything, and like he had a movie come out 2 years ago, Masterminds, that was straight to video on demand.
pretty
At
good.
the
He's having
same
trouble
year
getting-
as Masterminds came out on the series.
Are you thinking of what?
No, Mastermind. The awesome freaking.
You're thinking of Mindhunter. So Nacho Libre. Caleb,
Yeah.
why did you pick this movie?
Yeah,
and
what the
what is your
fuck?
story with you in this movie?
How old were
Okay.
you when you saw it?
Probably 15, 16 years old.
Were you going to the
Came out
theater
when you were
alone?
17, so
What did it? Is 05?
it's 06.
Oh, 06. Holy cannoli. Okay, then yeah, when I was 17 years old.
Would you have ridden your bike
You
and
could have been
gone to the
16.
theater? Did you see this with friends?
I think it was summer 06.
Can you stop interrupting him?
We would have graduated from high school.
Yeah, I saw it, and it was eminently requotable. Some of the stupid things that he says still crack me up.
But for someone who consumes as much culture as you do, you must have to do a lot of it alone, right? I mean, did you go to the movies by yourself?
No,
Did
I
you-
went with friends.
Okay, just curious. Because Matt used to and still does like to go to the movies by his friends because he watches so.
I also still do that, but
Yeah.
this was.
I
this
never
was
met
one.
anyone that did that until him, and it's awesome because it. Well, anyway, you always get to be the person who's seen more movies than everybody
Yeah,
else.
you also can't really talk in the movie, so it's not like a very social aspect. It's like-
Exactly. Yeah.
Someone once said that dinner in a movie is like a terrible date. It's like you do movie then dinner. Maybe it works.
then you
Right,
have
'cause then
something
you
to
have
talk
something to
about.
talk about. right?
Correct.
And you don't have to fart during the movie.
Exactly.
You have to fart during dinner. Is that the implication there?
Yeah,
No,
'cause
it's
the
just you
movie-
eat, and then you're gonna be farting the dinner
Okay.
at the movie,
You
or
eat the-
needing to relieve yourself in some way.
I understand. I had misinterpreted your statement.
That's
No,
fine,
no,
but I-
it's when you have to fart your dinner. You know what I'm talking about?
Take it to have the dinner.
You eat the
farts.
dinner and then you're like, oh crap, here's the farts. The dinner farts.
But you do have the whole movie to release whatever has built in time to have the sex after the movie in the car.
True. It's a good point.
with their older boyfriends that they have when they're young.
Okay, I can tell that you've watched a lot of 80s movies.
No, this is just my life. Okay.
Just how you have to carefully
And
plan.
dinner was at like an Arby's. So.
Did you get a lot of horsey sauce or any?
Hell yeah.
Arby's was forever ruined when Dad Boner tweeted that Arby's roast beef is basically tastes just like hot dogs. And I
Oh my
thought
God,
about it
it
and I thought,
fucking
oh,
does.
they do. Ew.
If you could thin slice a hot dog and make it lay all billowy like
Yeah,
that.
I'm not
yeah.
turned off.
All right.
I feel like this movie was designed to just generate quotes.
Yes,
Like,
and it did.
if
It was a
came
meme
along,
before
It was
memes?
memes before memes were a thing.
Yeah, I would argue that it did. I mean,
I feel like it's not a big argument. We're all saying that.
no. But I would argue that the quotes endeared to me.
So what are the quotes? What are your
sure.
favorite quotes?
Your recreational pants.
There's no, actually, the get the corn out of my face.
Yes,
then-
and Matt that's when Matt really just like done with the movie. He's like, oh, I already know why.
So to paint the scene,
out of my face!
It's funny now.
See, it is funny.
Made me laugh.
So to paint the scene, Nacho Libre and his
Ignacio.
Ignacio and his luchador friend Esqueleto have just lost a wrestling match, and Esqueleto brings him two Mexican street
Street corn,
corns.
which are prominently featured throughout the movie.
Oh yes, in fact, at one point it takes a guy's eye out, and he brings Nacho Libre a Mexican street corn. At which point he slaps both of them out of his hands and yells, "Get the corn out of my face!" And I love that quote so much.
Surprise. Get that corn out of my face!
It's not.
Do you ever find occasion to say it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But when the corn, street corn, goes into the man's eye so far that you can only see half the corn anymore, it's clearly through his skull. Macy says, "What if that had pepper on it?"
It
that.
did have pepper
yes,
on it.
Macy, that is the problem. Through the back of the head.
So this was Jared Hess's follow up to Napoleon Dynamite. He made Napoleon
another quote
Dynamite
machine
in 2004. He made that movie.
All that is, yeah.
Made that movie for $400,000. It was a big hit that made $50 million. And then this movie, he gets a movie star, Jack Black, who's at the top of his powers at the time.
This is coming off of what for him?
School of Rock, King Kong, in which he's one of the leads in one of the biggest movies of the year.
Is that a King Kong pun?
Let's see, Shark Tale.
Got
The
destroyed by
Holiday?
Finding Nemo. Oh yes, that with
I love that movie with
Jude Law and Cameron Diaz
Kate Winslet.
and Kate Winslet. Oh, that's a stacked cast.
And then Tropic Thunder would be the
True.
next year. But
Now Tropic Thunder I really liked.
but this is just a time where
When was High Fidelity? That's a lot older than
2001,
this? Okay.
2000. But this is a time where he's like actually carrying movies. He's the lead of movies.
Right.
Whereas now he's more of a
How
character
about Shallow
actor.
Hal?
I think that was like 02.
yeah, it was earlier.
Okay.
I think that was my first awareness of Jack Black was Shallow Hal. That or Orange
You never
County.
knew Tenacious D?
No, I never did.
Can I just say something about his singing? It is you said that he's the Ed Helms before Ed Helms existed. That he will always find his
Ed
time
Helms
to
always
sing
finds a
something.
reason to sing
Yes,
something, yeah.
but when Ed Helms sings, I'm just like, yeah, there he goes. But when Jack Black does, I'm always like, fuck yes, I like when he sings. I forget every time.
I am also in on that sentiment.
He scats and the shit he does, the faces he makes.
Yeah.
He makes a movie,
I
a
mean-
scene. He carries shit with his eyebrows. He is sprightly.
I looked at my last FM in 2017, and the Ramses song was my most played.
Oh my god, that's fucking weird.
Ramses #1. He does not dance at all the parties.
Everything that you guys are saying is like are reasons I don't like him.
Yes, but you don't enjoy comedians like I do either.
But this isn't
You enjoy funny moments in
What's supposed to be funny about him is that he doesn't look like he'd be able to do this
not
singing
true.
and this musicianship, but he is.
That's
and he's
not
like
true.
super expressive with his face and with his gestures.
Yes, he's a silent movie
And all that
actor
stuff just
that
annoys me.
sings. No, well, that's because you can't move your face very much. That's not
right.
fair.
You have no soul.
That's right.
I'm gonna say it.
That's Well, okay. Well, this makes complete sense. It goes along with everything else. It's why I love Chris Kattan. Why I love Jim Carrey. Why I love a facially expressive person, and I love that he can't seem to help it. Like, you put him in a serious movie, and he still does it. Holiday's got serious parts to it, and he's still that. It shines through. It's magic.
I'm a big fan of people who can sort of sing but still try, like Will Ferrell. Yes. I think Jack Black is a step above that.
Yes,
in that he actually can sing. Yeah. Not incredibly well. I was going to say you can't ever see him leading a band, and then I forgot about Tenacious D. But
I think he's a pretty good singer.
Oh yeah,
but like the joke of High Fidelity is that, oh my God, he can sing.
Right.
This band, you thought he was bullshitting about his band, but actually he can sing. But that was before the world knew that Jack Black.
It's just one of those things where it's like seeing a fish out of water. You're like, what? He's an actor and he sings?
Yeah.
Well, and for someone who seems very goofy to all of a sudden just go into this like suave, super confident thing, because he's kind of my issue with certain actors when they take on an accent. Like, I like them just how they're, like Little Nicky. I can't fucking handle that movie because of the stupid fucking accent. But
see, I think Little Nicky might actually be my favorite Adam Sandler movie. I've been pondering doing it on this show.
I've seen half of it. I've never even seen the whole thing.
But I haven't seen it since high school.
I couldn't get past it. But when I don't need a lot of whipped cream on my favorite ice cream. I just want my goddamn ice cream. So when he comes out the gate with that accent, I'm just stop it, because it makes everything he does from that point on not feel like he's totally in his skin. His hair, I like Jack Black just like he is. But then the parts where he sings, that's when he's the most Jack Black to me. And those are my favorite parts of this movie.
That's true.
You think that's his real hair?
Yeah, of course that's his real hair.
It's not how it grows out, though. Go look at any other movie.
He got a perm.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they threw a wig on him or not.
No, there's no wig. He does too much flipping and stuff. That's his hair. It's all flowy. I know.
No
when
I don't know hair.
I can spot a wig on my little... No, it's not a wig.
Yeah, but maybe your wig radar is flawed because you only notice obvious wigs.
Because let me tell you something.
No, I notice really, really good wigs. That's
what if great wigs just slip past you? You'll never. There's a problem with that's a wig.
This is a wig,
No,
and
it's
you had
fucking
no.
not.
She had no idea. I came in here in a wig, and Lacey missed it.
Full
You
of shit.
want me to take it off?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is that a? Is that a merkin?
For the listener, Caleb is removing his wig.
Yeah. And
oh my God!
to show the exact same hair underneath it.
And no, it's like these World War II planes that weren't shot out of the air, but were shot at by the Nazis, came home to Britain, and they made a study. They're like, well, what should we use what kind of armor should we put in these planes? Well, let's study where the holes are. And then they realized...
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is all very convoluted.
Yeah. The point being, like, you don't put the plates where the holes are. You put the plates where they aren't.
Because there's a problem with detection where you're only paying attention to the things that you notice. You're only noticing there's a hole there because it was penetrable enough to get a hole there, but you're not going to notice when the bullet didn't get through. So you're only noticing wigs that you know are wigs. You're not going to notice the wigs that you can't tell are wigs.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
The way that I've calibrated my wig dar is by noticing before anyone else does it, and when I remark on it, they say, oh my God, it is, or are you sure? See, that's how I know I have a notch above the average wig dar. I'm not saying I'm the best or that they all don't get past
But you're
me.
above average. Okay.
That's all the fuck I'm saying, yes.
Is it, I mean, we have to say that Jack Black's accent is super offensive, right?
Yes. Very, very much so. It would have been better if he just didn't try.
Yeah,
or had tried
I don't think
harder.
it was needed.
It was,
yes, it was there was something very because sometimes it turns Italian and other times it goes away completely. Yeah. That's not the place in this movie where he tried.
I think the whole point of this movie is just the joke that, like, when you say things in that Mexican accent, they're funny. Like, get that corn out of my fish. It's like the way he said.
Why do you sound like Littlefinger?
Just because you know that every kid who watches the movie is going to go home and do this accent.
Yes, and it worked. Caleb is here.
It did. I'm still laughing.
So plot of the movie is that
who is that actress? She looks a lot like
Are you talking about Encarnacion? Another fantastic song.
That's the song I thought you were talking about. That's the song I like the most.
Her name is Ana de la.
She looks a lot like Penelope Cruz.
She is from Eastbound and Down.
Oh, yes.
And also many
familiar.
telenovelas. So,
oh, I get it. A little story on TV. Huh.
That is correct.
There you go.
Well, I didn't know what novella meant until, like 2 years ago. I don't read.
I had never seen this movie. Lacey, you'd never seen this movie, right?
Right.
But I think that just based on the marketing of it that I ingested at the time, it made me think this was a totally different movie than what it is.
Really?
I just thought this was
exactly what I thought it was.
No, I didn't know that it was from the director of Napoleon Dynamite. I don't think I'd seen the trailer. We watched a trailer yesterday for the movie to try to get our kid to watch it with us because we show trailers to her.
That can't be a trailer what we watched.
But it was a trailer, but I'd never seen that trailer. If I'd seen that trailer, I would know exactly what kind of movie this is, which is this is just Napoleon Dynamite with wrestling in Mexico.
Right.
But I remembered thinking this is just a wacky, like Adam Sandler-esque comedy about a wrestler, like or like a Will Ferrell plays semi-pro basketball.
I knew there was
kind of
like an
movie.
indie slant to it. I knew it was like low budget. I knew it had a tone, it had a look, and it felt. Well, I don't. It almost seemed smarter than its target audience, but no, there's enough farting and shitting in there for as lowbrow as you want to get. Because I felt Napoleon Dynamite was for a smarter person to hang in there with it, just because it was trying something new. But I guess if you slap Jack Black in something, you're not really going for the same total effect as Napoleon Dynamite. Anyway, I'm basing this entire thing off the fact that the only two people I knew that really liked it were total douchebag bros.
Thank you.
No, you're not one of them. I didn't know. Now you're number 3.
Caleb, what do you think of Napoleon Dynamite?
I thought Napoleon Dynamite was good. It's a little stale now.
Oh yeah, but it's like The Godfather. Everything is so quoted, it doesn't even feel.
Yeah, it was great at the time. I think I saw that one.
I watched
2 or
it a
3 times
ton.
in theaters.
Wow.
It was at the Dollar Theater, so that was like native.
Oh, I missed the dollar show.
But I thought Napoleon Dynamite was fine.
Did you watch it the way I did, where you just kept waiting to like, well, if I watch it again, I'm gonna get it.
No, I just thought, oh, this is just stupid. There's no point to this.
Right.
Which is
Kept holding out at
why I went into Nacho Libre eyes open to be like, there's no point to this. This is stupid.
That is a
And
better
love
But
way
I
to
think
go
there
in.
is a point to Napoleon Dynamite, which is just high school sucks and is weird and is filled with weird people.
So the point of
who
this
are
one
being
is
weird.
Mexico sucks.
And it's weird. Yeah, like
No.
that's why Napoleon
let's
Dynamite
po-
works a lot better for me
Yes.
than this one because it's
Because
like
high school
being
is
a little
like-
brother is weird and sucks, and high school is weird and sucks, and this one is like Mexico sucks.
No, let's clarify. Let's clarify here. The theme of this movie is not Mexico sucks.
It's Christianity sucks.
It's that being a
monk?
I think
A porn.
a friar.
friar, yeah.
he's
But he's in
He
a
called
monastery.
himself a monk. He
No, he calls
no,
himself a friar
because
because he wants the monk duties and he doesn't get them, and that upsets him.
Is a friar under a monk?
I
Are they
don't-
in the same
hold
thing?
on. We got let's do some Catholic research real quick. But he wants
Catholicism wiki.
he wants like the duties, remember? Because he's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then he's like, go ahead, you can go deal with this guy who has the flu, who he thinks died.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna try not to spoil the movie for everybody, but
It's already spoiled because it's not a good movie.
and so he's like definitely not considered on the level within the
Yeah. No.
within the
Right.
monastery.
Yeah. He grew up there, and he just
Yeah.
never left.
It's because his Scandinavian mother and his Mexican father tried to convert each other.
Oh, right. Matt, you
That
didn't
was
laugh
one
at
of 2
part,
times that
yeah.
I laughed.
Yeah.
The other time I laughed was when they're introducing Sister Encarnacion, and they just say the church that she's from or whatever, and
He
it's
goes,
just like
Anyways,
it's just like a word salad of
Oh, yeah.
of Catholic words.
our mother of the
Of
Sacred
Lady
Heart
Holy
yeah.
Sacred Lakes of
Oaxaca.
of Guadalupe.
Mm-hmm.
Friars are different from monks in that friars go among the lay people, whereas monks cloister themselves into a self-sufficient community.
So that's why that's why they sent him out
Mm-hmm.
to go take care of that guy in the
Let me
town.
ask you this: what is the actor's name that is Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite? Do you know?
Not offhand.
Okay, but did his entire family go into this movie?
I don't know.
Efren
It is
Ramirez.
Amazing. The
The lead monk looked like his
just
father.
like him, yes, and so does the oldest monk. He had
Yeah,
the
I
same
don't know.
thing.
I don't remember that.
The guy in the crowd who's cheering for Nacho the entire
Mm-hmm.
time, randomly him. Even his best friend buddy guy's got a look of.
Esqueleto?
It's amazing. Like he would have you believe that everyone in Mexico looks like Pedro, but I think he just had some kind of eye for
people
an
who
aloof
look like that
face.
and have that look. And I think
It's a
that
gape. It's a mouth open thing.
like Pedro
it's
in
a dead
Napoleon
eye.
Dynamite is funny because of how detached he is. And like if you say something, if you say Pedro to him, he'll have to be like, Pedro, if you talk to him, if you say his name, say Pedro, and he'll say, like, huh? Like, he has to come to life. Like, you have to poke him to bring him to life.
He's in power down.
But I
mode.
noticed in this movie that seems to be the director's, Jared Hess's visual style, because the camera hardly ever moves. It's very stationary. It's not like there are tons of cuts and weird angles and stuff, but the action always just unfolds in front of it. Like, it doesn't track anything.
It's like a play like that. It's like people are walking in and out of view, and
well, yeah, but
it's also
not,
weirdly like
it's not long takes though. It cuts a lot. It's just that it's not very active. Like, it is kind of just attached. Like,
it's a play turned in on itself. It's like a play if you were going to put one of the cameras just on the audience, because it catches reactionary shots before a thing has happened, while the thing is barely taken effect to the person, and then after they stop reacting altogether. That's the weird long realism thing that because I'm always looking at the person who's reacting to me, so I'm used to seeing the I don't get it face. Oh, I get it, but I don't care. And then the disconnected look. That's what it takes forever to watch this movie.
And I get that his idea is that it's funny when people don't get it, and it's funny like when people have their normal interactions and they're awkward and incomplete, and people are not paying attention or people are responding to the wrong thing. But I feel like that was explored much better in Napoleon Dynamite, and also that I'm over it by the time of this movie. I don't know. This movie was way more. This was $35 million, which is considerably more than $400,000 for Napoleon Dynamite.
Like, where did they shoot that?
It takes place in
cliff.
Oaxaca, Mexico.
That was really pretty.
What is
that church, or what? That had to be a real situation. That's not a set.
I don't know where it was filmed. I assume it was filmed on location. Somewhere. It is a very good looking
movie had in common with Napoleon Dynamite. This is probably super obvious, but just how it has no place in time. Like, he dresses as in leisure suits, but there's completely modern suits on the wrestlers with more money. And then the rest of them are in uniforms and just regular. Anyway, you just like Napoleon Dynamite, you have no way of guessing when these movies are, because even the really fancy cars in this movie are old on purpose.
Yeah, but then you can always say, well, it's a poor town in Mexico.
There's nothing to place it. Yeah.
So some people could be using old technology, but not like ironically or
right.
Or
right.
like
someone
in Napoleon
might be using
Dynamite,
a Walkman because.
Or where in Napoleon Dynamite, it's a deliberate choice on the filmmaking to mix technologies from different eras just to
see, I'm more thinking of the clothes, but yeah, the technologies too.
Subject of the movie is wrestling, luchador wrestling. Okay, for one thing, if they named it something other than Nacho Libre, like that right there suggests a sort of different movie than what this is. Although there's a lot of farting in the movie, which seems out of place in the movie. It seems like, well, let's try to get a little more appeal to
he's
the
a
everyman.
We should have expected the farting when the very opening sort of scene or the opening credits showed Nickelodeon Studios as one of the major producers of this, and I don't think they've done a live action movie before or since. I don't remember.
Oh, they've done plenty.
No, they did Spider-Man Chronicles.
Yeah.
Wait, they did what?
Spider-Man Chronicles, which we just watched this week.
Okay, no, that's good. Now I'm forgetting about the all that spin-off stuff, but they haven't done one in a while.
Oh, like Whataburger.
Yeah, good burger.
Sorry.
We should do Good Burger on this.
Have you not seen Good Burger?
Of course I have.
Okay,
I'm not.
All right, just checking. Shaq's in Good Burger. But Nickelodeon Studios has not been a prolific creator of content.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, the Michael Bay ones.
That's on them?
That was Nickelodeon, yeah.
They're so garb.
They are. They're so
Who did Power Rangers?
Lionsgate or...
And Bondi? Let's not forget that.
Saban. Rango. Oh, that's CGI. Anyway. Okay. His name is Ignacio, so you get why he's called Nacho. But that title seems like much... It just seems like it's not appropriate for what kind of movie this is. Do you guys not agree? Like, Nacho Libre just suggests something so... I don't know. Something more gross out.
No, I thought it was good.
I just think it's supposed to be him, his two sides of him, right? Like, half of him doesn't fit in any place that he puts himself. He doesn't totally fit as a wrestler, doesn't totally fit as a friar. And so Libre works, but not Nacho. Nacho works, but not Libre. He's actually a really good wrestler, but he's so ridiculous looking, and his shape is not what you would expect. So it seems like a mishmash, which is what he is.
The wrestling in this movie is
It knows nothing. It's just street fighting.
No, I was just gonna say, like that's what's missing from this movie. Besides feeling like I get like an inside look on how wrestling really works, which is usually the offering I can hope for with a wrestling movie, is also a complete lack of choreography. Can you imagine Hess actually being like, okay, we need a trained professional come in here and really just give us some really great action sequences?
But that must be where all the money went.
Yeah.
Is on because these are very elaborately staged and filmed wrestling matches, and there are a bunch of them, and he kind of just films them. Like, they don't really have stories other than just here's a wrestling match.
Right, yeah, nothing's going on where you hear him in the ear and like here, oh, I'm gonna kill you. You know, like how you usually nothing on the sidelines is happening. It's just straight.
Yeah, it's a fight that they just use wrestling moves in.
Right.
And like the winner, there's a prize for the winner, as if
I know, as if it's a real fight,
as if it's like, oh boy, we got to go get in this to try and win this money. It's like, no man, this is decided ahead of time, and maybe you'll come in second. Sorry for spoilers for any children listening.
Right, and like, I'm putting my mask on the line, like, but they all work out ahead of time who's winning. Like, if a luchador takes off his mask, it's a big deal. Like, it's a major turning point in your career to unmask. And it's not just the result of somebody being a better fighter than you in a match.
Oh, right. Like, that doesn't happen unplanned.
Right.
Yeah, it's more of like the lack of coordination stunned me, because like these people can seriously get hurt. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, why are they through? Like when they fought the little people, and they just were tossing them outside of the ring, and they were biting. There was biting.
And after I told Macy that there's definitely no hitting below the belt, but it was like, nope, this happens here.
Yeah.
She's like, well, what about with the chair?
Okay. I will say, I enjoyed Jack Black in the wrestling scenes, but Esqueletos fish out of water sort of movements within the wrestling ring cracks me up every single time. It's just like a scared child running around with his head cut off.
Yes, but I feel like the wrestling parts are almost completely forgettable. I don't know.
I think they're fine. They're well staged and filmed, but like I don't really see the point. And it was building up it seemed like it was building up to a really long sequence of a battle royal or something, because on screen you have text about each of the wrestlers and their finishing moves, but then this whole scene is over in like 30 seconds, and now back to the monastery, back to the cliff, back to the and then
back to the
like
back to the
Napoleon
eagle
Dynamite
egg.
with his big dance scene, because you see him practicing, you see him get the tape,
but at least
you think that's going to be a big deal, and it's like a really long shot, and then all right, then his life's back to normal and nothing actually changed.
I mean, like, even with that, at least you get to see Napoleon dance for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just they show everybody what their finishing moves are, and then you get like 10 seconds of wrestling, and then the whole thing's over. So it seems like they're going to build to something.
Super
big.
love wrestling, so maybe I'm totally okay that this didn't happen.
It did. It built to the no holds barred Ramses versus Nacho Libre match.
But that was later. That was later.
But they had to get all the they had to get all the contenders out of the way.
Exactly.
No, but that's not the same day. That's
I
later.
know,
No,
but they had to do it fast.
But they had to do it quickly, and it had to do it in such a way that gives you a reason for Nacho Libre to go in front of.
There wasn't time for a big montage of him having lots of little fights. They had to have a whole. Here's how we get everyone out the way.
And Nacho Libre during this movie has shown himself to be not a good enough wrestler to fight Ramses, who I quote is number one and does not dance at all the parties. So I think that it worked, but I understand what you're saying. They set it up like it was like, this is it.
Yeah,
right.
This is the climax.
We're gonna see all those moves.
We're gonna see Mankind jump off the cage.
Yeah, we don't
Hell in
see
a Cell,
Mankind
and he
fall
didn't
off
do
the
it.
cage.
No,
off the Hell in a Cell. But then the big fight with Ramses, Nacho, like flies from the rope into the stands, into the audience
of the Lord,
to land on Ramses, and then the ref stands in the ring and counts to 3. Nacho isn't pinning Ramses, and you wouldn't be able to get a pin outside of the ring anyway. But the ref counts to 3, and then he's like, "Oh, la la!" And the crowd starts cheering. You're like, "What just happened?" And then Jack Black goes to the ring, and then a minute later they raise his hand, and he's won.
I don't understand. What? It makes complete sense to me. Why are you
No,
confused?
there's no wrestling. He didn't win.
They're in Mexico.
But I looked up luchador rules. There's nothing different. They're American rules. You win by getting a pinfall in the ring. Count to 3. He wasn't in the ring, and he wasn't pinning him. The ref just counted to 3.
He was literally running away, though. I've never seen a wrestling match in my life where someone runs away.
To win, he would have to get back in the ring, and the ref would have to count to 10.
But that would mean that Jack Black would have to wrangle him, drag him back.
No. Jack Black goes back to the ring. Ramses continues to be outside the ring, and the ref counts to 10.
count, right?
Gets to 10 or 20. Instead, he counts to 3 with both of them out of the ring, and then signals that Jack Black won the match. Why does he win? What did he do?
Oh God, but I don't need all that.
Okay, but
he
here's-
win-
it's fair. But there's nothing clear that happened to indicate that Jack Black won.
He pinned him down.
He didn't pin him, though.
Yes, he fucking did.
No, he didn't.
He was pinning him as he counted to 3.
Nuh-uh.
Both shoulders weren't down.
He was not pinned.
He was not able to move.
Okay, wait. Let's just get to the real point of this here. Why does he do it? Because he saw him commit the most amazing swan dive
It was beautiful.
ever to capture that man.
His hair blew.
Yeah, and as a for those who don't like this movie, watch it specifically for this scene so that you can hear the wonderful song that plays underneath.
What is it?
That's
There's another one, but I'm a religious man.
No, it's like I am.
Oh yeah.
I am.
I
I
There's a
love that song.
There's a lot of weird.
Yeah,
That's by an artist named Mr. Loco, a.k.a. Mr. Loco Band.
really.
Yes,
It's a
'cause I was looking up what that was. 'cause
It's a fantastic
It
song.
sounds like David Bowie's voice if, like, I don't know, like Father John Misty or somebody played the music. But yeah, it's this 1970s folk band from Mexico that
Yeah,
did it.
it's great.
But my point with all that was just like, they didn't care enough about wrestling to even get this right, which is annoying to me. I want a movie that loves wrestling to care about the details.
I think the wrestling was cucumber in this situation.
Cucumber to deliver the rich.
I do. I don't think this was a wrestling movie. It just wasn't a way to get Jack Black shirtless with tights pulled up just above his belly button
In
with
stretchy
a mask.
pants, yeah.
Yeah, stretchy pants. I mean, it was all about the stretchy pants.
I got you, but I think you have a responsibility if you're going to cover something, especially if you're not a Mexican to cover something that's so important culturally to people
I
in
don't think
Mexico.
they cared about Mexican culture at all in this movie.
Sure, but that's a failing on their part.
Yeah. Just don't think I'm not saying they tried and failed. I'm saying they didn't try.
They tried
They tried to nail the culture.
for like half a second.
Half a
They're like, all
second.
right, we're good.
No, the whole even
All right.
the production feels lazy, right? Like the reason Napoleon Dynamite worked is because this is a nondescript town with a nondescript family. You do that half-ass and it just looks like you're doing it. You try to use actors everyone already knows and places and things, and then this half-ass style is going to shine through.
Do you remember, Caleb, when Juventud Guerrera
What?
lost to Chris Jericho and had to
No.
unmask?
Fucking hell.
I do not remember this.
God.
We watched this at a pay-per-view at your house in 1998, and the announcers were like, okay, everybody, he's about to take his mask off. Shield your eyes, take your pills, because it's going to be disgusting. His face is so horrible looking. And it's just a face.
This is regulated.
But-
But the storyline that I remember the most from that's not like a super mainstream one, like, you know, the NWO or Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, is the storyline where wrestler Val Venus, who was not that famous of a wrestler, if
Loses his
anything,
penis?
he gets the storyline where he gets his penis chopped off by members of the Yakuza.
Kai and Tai. Kai and Tai, that's what they were called. With a sword.
Yes, with a sword, they chop his penis off.
His peeping.
And
That's what they
I
called it.
could not believe that this was an
love
actual
the
storyline.
And that they allowed it to happen.
At about 10 to 12 years old, I was like, oh no,
He
this
lost
is
his
the
penis.
worst. Because Val Venus himself was sort of a sleazeball. He walked
was
around
a
in the
porn star.
walked around in the towel all the
Yeah.
time, and then they chopped his penis off. And you should be like, good, sleazeballs get what they deserve. But then you're like, no, man, now he's sad. Like you
Yeah.
took away like his one love in
That's his
life.
mojo.
You know?
Take away a heel's heel.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about at all. I left the room.
This wrestler's whole gimmick was,
has-
I'm a porn star who likes
Oh,
to
that's
have
his
sex with women.
livelihood.
Do
Aw.
you remember his catchphrase?
No.
Sex.
He'd
sex,
get on the
and
mic
sex.
and he would say, and the audience would say it along with him, hello.
Okay, yeah. Oh my God. The moment you started to say it, I was like, yes.
His
With that-
theme music was like,
Hello, ladies.
And he had this long, oily, slick back blonde hair. Oh, he was a character.
Yeah.
This was back when they were doing cool stuff in
Tag
WWE.
the
Not
shit
not
and
like
look a lot for Twitter people who care about this fucking shit.
not
You
like
gotta
letting-
get the value out of this.
Okay.
they weren't just letting John Cena run
You
around.
don't like this?
No,
Babe.
I love it, but then it's like there's got to be other nerds that like this too.
Yeah, I mean, Matt and I we were huge. We actually, I think the Monday Night Wars, NWO was like initially the winner for us, but then your boys from D-Generation X came through, and instantly we switched back.
WWF.
Is this the suck it people?
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
there's definitely them.
But that was kind of the trajectory that America followed, where WCW won for a while, and then WWF took it back.
WCW won because they had Hogan, and they brought all like they
Yeah.
brought
Your uncle.
Uncle Hulk. They brought all the people from WWE that were and turned them heel in a positive way. Kevin Nash.
I work a lot with
Scott Hall.
minority and women owned or slanted businesses and organizations, and I hear a ton of acronyms all the time. So everything you guys are saying, they already exist in that realm. So it's very confusing.
Like
WWE and
WBE?
Like, you're certified in what now? Yeah, right. Anyway, continue.
Well, the luchador wrestlers, because a lot of them came into American wrestling.
Mysterio
in the 90s.
was one of them.
Rey Mysterio, yeah.
Mysterio, isn't that also a villain in superhero culture?
I don't know.
Mystique.
All right, sure.
So
No, I hate her. She's cheating.
they were smaller. They were more aerial. They were more technical wrestlers.
Aerial,
in
so they
contrast,
get on those ropes and jump off of
and
them
flap
more?
with their fins. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Flap with their fins.
aerial.
That'd be
yeah.
aquatic.
The frog jump was that Eddie Guerrero?
I was
Frog
because I said
Agile?
aerial. 'Cause
Again, that's aquatic. Ariel's a
mermaid.
bird. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant.
I know.
Eddie Guerrero used to do the frog splash where he would
Yeah.
just crunch it. He would jump off the top rope, crunch his body together, and
Yeah.
get it back out.
It was awesome. He
It
would do
was
it from
very
the ropes.
awesome.
The bigger
Skill.
wrestlers would do it from the mat,
Yeah.
from the actual ring, but he'd go up on the top ropes and do it. But the
Because that's got a big downside.
Oh yeah, you're probably
How
7 feet.
stupid do you look?
Maybe too aggressive.
When
5
you-
feet up there.
But the point is just that the luchadors and Mexican wrestling is smaller, more technical, more
Faster.
aerodynamic, faster. Yeah, in contrast to American wrestlers
Scrappier.
who are bigger, more brawl centric. More you stay on the ground, you kick hard,
Yeah, a lot of punches.
you
It com-
body slams.
It
and
comes
stuff.
from the sort of the people that were brought up.
Do you think-
Your Andre the Giant's, Macho Man's, Hogan. They were all huge people.
So do you think the way to stay elite in American wrestling is that not everybody can build their body that way, but then in Mexican wrestling, it's a whole other different kind of way of getting in or getting out? You just got to be scrappier.
Well, I think it grew up independently of American wrestling, so
But
it's just
it seems to have the values of America versus the values of bigger.
actually
the bigger, the better. In America.
lucha wrestling, and in this movie,
I'm
the
right.
bigger wrestlers are the villains, like Ramses, and they're the ones who are
Yeah.
more American in their style because
what
they
I'm
don't.
saying.
Yeah. Okay, you might be right.
Yep.
I am the singing at the party. I am singing, it's my turn to sing at the party. Everyone is dancing, happy.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Everybody, I implore you to go online to loadbearingbeams.com and look at all the shit that's there. Like
Dick
a list
pics,
of all the
badge pics, boobs.
There are none of that there.
Not on our site, but on the internet.
on the internet, sure. But you can look at
But
all the movies that we've done, so you can say, I don't care about Duck Soup, but I do care about Ace Ventura, so I'll listen to that
There's
episode.
something for everyone.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that one. I cared mostly about.
I don't blame you. Otherwise, we have a YouTube, we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter,
Please subscribe and like and do things
and
so we can do things.
In fact, if you're subscribed, unsubscribe then resubscribe, please.
Or download another app for podcasting and subscribe with that
good,
one.
yeah.
Why haven't we done that?
Yeah,
With
use
Sweet-
Downcast.
And then the podcast app, and then also
use Stitcher.
Yeah,
Catfish
if you
Last
and-
FM.
If you leave a 5-star review, we'll read it on air, especially if it's mean.
Sure.
Yes.
So if you want us to talk about one of your movies, leave a review on iTunes and say what your movie is that you want us to talk about. Caleb, thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you.
podcast. You're welcome for us flying you in from New York to do the podcast.
Yeah, it's very generous.
Thank you. Otherwise, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
3, 4.
everybody. Love bearing beams, love bearing